Hi, everybody. It's Father Paul Turner from the Diocese of Kansas City, St. Joseph in Missouri, answering a question about the cross used at the Mass. This is a question that comes up frequently on my blog, paulturner.org, so I thought I would explain a little bit more to you. Variations of this question include things like, does the cross in the procession at the beginning of Mass have to be used? Does it have to be a crucifix? Can another cross be placed on the altar? What happens with the processional cross, and so on? And I'm referring here mainly to the general instruction of the Roman Missal, paragraphs 117 and 122. The carrying of a cross in the entrance procession is not required, but it does seem that the general instruction presumes, if you are carrying one, that it is a crucifix. It carries the image of Christ leading the procession into the church. Every Mass is supposed to be celebrated at an altar with an image of Christ crucified on the altar or near the altar. But paragraph 122 implies that there's going to be one cross, one crucifix for the actual celebration of the Mass. So it envisions, if you have a large crucifix on the wall, say, or suspended above the sanctuary in your church, then that becomes the crucifix in conjunction with the altar that is celebrated for the Mass. Then in the procession, when you carry the crucifix in to lead the procession, that cross does not remain in the sanctuary. It is placed in the sacristy or someplace to the side so that it does not compete with the cross that is the cross of the entire assembly connected to the one altar, that is the altar for the entire assembly. Now, a lot of priests like to use a small cross placed on the altar. They find devotional inspiration from that while they are praying the text of the Mass. Some of them lay it flat on the altar, others position it upright, facing them rather than facing the people. My comment on this is that I can't defend that practice from the general instruction. The general instruction seems to think there's one cross that is the cross that everybody is honoring in conjunction with the altar. I know that priesthood popes have done it, so it's hard for me to say it cannot be done, but I like to look at the liturgical books themselves for inspiration to see how the mind of the church is regarding the liturgy, and I just don't see the possibility of two crosses. The cross and the altar are linked in the sense that the cross is supposed to be near the altar for the celebration of the Mass. And during days when we use incense, there is an incensation of the altar and the cross kind of together. Those items are united. So the cross with the image of Christ crucified signifies the sacrifice that Jesus Christ offered, and the altar is the place where we're going to enter into the mystery of that sacrifice in sacrament. So it's very much an important connection between the two. So when we incense, we do them both. So those are some of the rules governing it. We need to have an image of the crucified Christ there. The image is supposed to be connected to the altar in a sense that it helps everyone understand the significance of the sacrifice that is underway. And it is a unified symbol that everyone uses together for the celebration of the Mass.